So Thriving Southland was set up 2 years ago by a cross-sectoral group of farmers, and it was in a response to regulation and change that was coming, and there's a bit of a negative feel about. So I suppose what's made it unique, in those last 2 years we've worked with catchment groups. We've really started to deliver to them the information that they want and they need to move in a positive direction, looking at the things they're interested in, from water quality through to greenhouse gases, or even just around community and community engagement, which is so important. And I think that's the difference with Thriving. We're connecting across the whole of Southland, and we're really seeing it making a difference, and we're seeing those catchment groups making a difference.
2 years, a fabulous 2 years. We've gone from people saying Thriving Southland to who are you, to actually being able to have a conversation with people who've read our reports, seen our group activity, and actually met our Thriving team. It's been a tough 2 years, with COVID in the middle. It's brought its challenges, plus the understanding around new rules and regulations and how the catchment group space fits in to the wider sort of Southland community. But the momentum is building, there is more people involved, and we've seen agencies, stakeholders, farmers, communities really get behind their groups and what they're passionate about. We love our jobs and we love Thriving Southland. We know that our Southland community is with us, and we're so excited to be a part of it and what it does next.
Thriving Southland is about inspiring community action and helping make it happen on the ground. And at the heart of it is having healthy, thriving catchment groups. And we have the most amazing network of catchment groups in Southland. We now have 36 and it's growing. And over the last 2 years, we've just seen their ideas and their projects blossom. They're so diverse. You've got everything from a mid-lambing and calving social event through to working with school groups with pest animals and how to understand how healthy your stream is, right the way through to interactive workshops and reducing waste, and those larger projects like your winter crop trial and your Lucy Ag work. It's absolutely amazing, and it's what keeps me doing the job that I love.
So an example of some of the work we're doing for our catchment groups and catchment communities is compiling reports about the information that they want to see in a way that they can read it and understand it and work through it and put it into practice.
Over the last 2 years we've had 41 projects. They've ranged in topic choice from matchism right through to David Norton talking on biodiversity. It was really great seeing new faces at these and different topics pulling different people from the community.
Some of the larger projects we've been involved with is the oats project, looking at the value of the oats and the oat milk to farming and this farming community, the wetland project and the AgMart project. So the AgMart project is one of our larger projects, and we've actually brought in outside funding around that, which has helped us to really take it up another level, looking at the Machara from a perspective of greenhouse gases and farm systems and water quality. And that's probably one of the projects that's going to have a real impact, helping the farming community, helping farmers, as well as being relevant right across the country.
I've been involved in a couple of amazing larger projects this year. One of them was the Hedgehope Macariwa Winter Establishment Trial, and that was an extension of some work done at the Southern Dairy Hub. And what the group looked at was, what were the alternative crop establishment techniques, such as precision drilling, strip tillage, air seeding, and how did they work? Would they improve soil structure and strength? And then would that have less pugging and better outcomes for our animal welfare? And another one I worked with was the Macariwa Headwaters catchment group, and they worked with Ravensdown and did a study on Lucy Ag. And they kind of looked at their catchment in detail, and they looked at a couple of farms, and they worked out their nitrogen, their phosphorus, and their sediment hotspots and pathways, and then said, what are the practical things we can do on farm to improve this? And then they started a catchment-wide conversation. What can we do as a catchment? And that's really exciting.
The Women's Enviro project was a series of events that we held. We had 300 odd ladies come together to hear from inspirational speakers on the environment. The chatter in the room and seeing the connection was super rewarding, and we didn't want it to end there, so from that the Southern Women's Facebook page was developed. That is led by a group of women in the community about connecting all of the inspiring educational things happening in that space for women across Southland, and it's really cool to see it get up and running and see each individual add their little element of leadership to it.
With the number of projects, groups, activities forever increasing, it takes a real village to make this happen. So Thriving Southland and our model actually has an incredible operational department behind it, and without them we wouldn't be able to report, budget, and deliver on time frames, and quite frankly have these projects succeed the way they do without them. So our operational team and our office team are truly the backbone of what we do here at Thriving, and they keep our integrity in check and they keep us moving forward. So after being with Thriving for 2 years, it's amazing what we have been able to achieve, and being a coordinator, it's fabulous to be involved to enable and support these catchment groups to achieve their goals. We know we're all going to be here in 50 years, we know we'll be farming and our communities will be thriving, but we just don't know what that looks like yet. So to be able to be a part of what these groups and what their projects are showcasing is truly amazing. And we love that it brings communities together, that it brings people into a positive space that allows them to kind of get creative and try something a little crazy, or test what they've always known to be true. So Thriving Southland and the catchment group model has been truly spectacular and showcased its power in the last couple of years. We're excited for the future and to see things really build momentum and go from strength to strength.
After 2 years of engaging with catchment groups and supporting them on the ground, we're actually seeing a great change. We're seeing catchment groups are starting to grow, engaging their communities. We're seeing them take up projects that really matter to them, that are really making a difference, and they've got direction. And I suppose that's the catch cry of Thriving Southland, is just get on board and get involved, because it's a positive thing to be part of. And if you're interested in being part of Thriving Southland, just get onto Thriving Southland online and help make a difference.